What's up, y'all? UFC T-Dot breakdowns. UFC 272, Masvidal versus Covington. We're gonna break down every fight from the early prelims to the final fight. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. I apparently can't talk, so don't watch these videos, right? Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you like UFC. This is just the beginning. I have plans for this channel, but you know, all in due time. All right. Start off the early prelims. We had Mako Oleksiejczuk. I'm probably saying that wrong. Against Dustin Jacoby. I felt like Michael was winning the first round. The second round, I give it to Jacoby, but like barely. I don't know why I'm going into great detail about each individual round for this fight. There was a reason, but it was like the first fight on like 9 hours of fighting. So like I don't remember the exact details. But that dude Dustin Jacoby is like some world-renowned kickboxer, and he barely kicked at all. And after the fight, it turns out that both his legs and one of his feet was injured, and that would probably explain why he kept poking the other dude in the eye. Anyways, Jacoby won by decision despite his injuries. Was that Booger? Was that light? What was that? Whatever. I'm leaving it in. We had Devontae Smith versus Ludwig Klein. Ludwig Klein is some kind of... He reminds me of Lomachenko, only he's a UFC fighter. I like that Ludwig Klein guy. He's good. Devontae Smith was really good too, just not as good as Klein. Like, also it was a short notice fight. That Ludwig Klein is like lightning fast. Like that Devontae Smith dude is fast, but he don't have the same timing and precision. You get what I'm saying? That Ludwig Klein, like I think he's going to be a really good fighter. I find it crazy with split decision. I mean, I feel like Klein won every round, hands down. Smith had one round where he purported himself very well. The other two rounds, he did well, but not as well as Klein. But whatever, split decision, just let it go to the judges. Fuck, who really won? I shouldn't say it like that, but just also in that fight, like they were grappling because they was tired, not to advance position. Mark Goddard was not playing that shit. He was breaking them up so quick because he knew. He was like, "Ain't neither one of y'all really get. Come on." Mark Goddard is quickly climbing the ranks as one of my most liked referees. No nonsense too. Excuse me. I'm just having my morning coffee. Next up we had Tim Elliott versus Tager Ulanbekov. So Tager Ulanbekov, like, I gotta be honest with you, man. First of all, Tim Elliott is like wild is an understatement. He's all over the place. I mean, it's controlled chaos, but he's all over the place in the ring, doing all kinds of weird shit. He's winning the fight though. He's also cheating, but it's all like low-key cheating. Like he's grabbing a glove and he's just always doing shit he ain't supposed to be doing in the ring, but he don't get caught because he's slick. He's an old wily vet. Excuse me, this Tagar guy had Khabib in his corner. It was a good fight. Tim Elliott won by decision. I mean, he just out-vetted the other dude. The other dude never fought nobody who was just that dirty and that sneaky and that tricky and that wily and that smart and that skilled and that experienced. Next up, we had Brian Kelleher versus Umar Nurmagomedov, who's Khabib's coiner. I mixed up coiner and cousin. Who's Khabib's cousin? He was in the corner. Yeah, Brian Kelleher. I really like Brian Boone Kelleher. He's one of my favorite fighters. Like, I just like him. I like his attitude. He usually gives great fights. Not this time. So Umar is Khabib, only he doesn't wrestle quite as well, but he strikes way better. So he's horrifying as any other Khabib would be. But for some reason, there's 9 Khabibs in the UFC now, and even a few American Khabibs. Shit, Colby tried his best Khabib on Masvidal today. Today, Saturday. Brian Callagher stood no chance, man. First round, real naked choke. Umar Nurmagomedov, scary. Next up, we had Myra Moraz versus Maria Agapova. Fucking yawning in the video. What's wrong with me? That's what's wrong with me. It's not even that hot. I don't know why I drank it like that. All right. Apparently, this is just anecdotal, but their names are spelled Maryna, Mariya. It's just, their names are so closely related. Apparently, they were really good friends, trained together. And then Agapova said Moraz started talking shit behind her back and making beef, right? Now, I don't know what really happened. What I do know is that Agapova, I love her. Like her attitude, she looks like she's having so much fun. She always looks happy. She's like dancing. Moraz is actually from the Ukraine, and her post-fight speech was very impassioned and emotion-filled. I don't know what happened to them personally, but Moraz seemed way more stable. She also won this fight. I feel like on the feet, maybe Agapova could have stood a chance, but once they got down on the ground, I mean, it was a good match, a good match up, I should say. I think their skills are pretty equally matched. I just think Moraz was just a little bit better everywhere. She won by submission. I love that, like, when they were talking about the lead up to this fight, Agapova said, like, when they asked her about Moraz, she said, I just want to, what is it? I just want to beat this bitch up or something like that. And John Anik quoted her, right? But it was right during Megan O'Leary's thing. So there's Megan, Rogan, Bisping, John Anik are all on mic. And John Anik is like, well, when they asked Agapova about this fight, she said, I just want to take this bitch out. And like Bisping was like, oh yeah, Anik. And Megan O'Leary was like, oh, I didn't know we could just cuss like that. It was like, well, you know we on pay-per-view. I don't know. I love John Anik cussing on mic. All right, he's so professional. This one, like if Bisping or Rogan cuss, it's like, yeah. All right, anyways, next up we had, I'm gonna ruin this name. Nikolai Negumereanu. Look it up. All right, there's like too many ERs in there. It's like Negumererererererereenu, something like that. It's like if Khabib Nurmagomedov and Keanu were one name. It's confusing. Um, but yeah, versus Kennedy and Chaku. The Kennedy and Chaku dude seems like uh, he's a really good fighter who is very oversized and is gonna win his fights. He doesn't as often as I assume. Now, this is a fight where I personally feel like Kennedy won all 3 rounds very close. Um, he actually had a point taken from him for an eye poke. He was getting warned. He eye poked the guy multiple times. He deserved a point taken. I honestly think that's why he lost the fight. I felt like it was a very close first round, very close second round. I felt like Kennedy won both rounds though, and then I felt like the third round was clearly a Kennedy round, but he lost. He lost the fight by decision. And I think that eye poke played a huge part in it. I mean, it had to have. I mean, I'm not a judge, but just going off of what I saw in there, he won all 3 rounds and then lost because of eye poke, and only the first and second round were close in my opinion. All right, we had Jan Sionan versus Maria Rodriguez. Uh, this is another really good fight. Both really sharp, crisp female fighters, really crisp. Xiaonan, I feel like she won the first 2 rounds. I feel like Rodriguez won the third round hands down. Rodriguez wins split decision. So, in my opinion, There were at least 3 decisions on this card that were questionable. None that were like robberies. They were close fights. None that I feel like, oh my God, I can't believe he lost. But just, what the fuck were these judges looking at? Or maybe what was I looking at? Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments. Next up, we had Julian Malarkey versus Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner from Fontana. I always root for the IE dudes. Bobby Green, Holloway. Not Holloway. Holloway. Fucking Holland. Kevin Holland. But yeah, Holloway's just so cool. I wish he was from the IE, right? Jalen Turner. This is a wild fight. They were hitting hard. First round, I couldn't even call it, to be honest with you. It was that even. I mean, it was back and forth. The second round, you seen Jalen Turner come out pretty quickly actually and win by TKO. And Jalen Turner got some hands. And then next up we had Greg Hardy versus Sergey Spivak. This Greg Hardy dude, man. I don't know if I hate him or if I love him. Sometimes he says things that be like, you know what, maybe Greg Hardy ain't that bad. And then he get in the ring and he do something to be like, and then the next words out of his mouth be like, I fucking hate this dude. Every experience with Hardy's like that. Maybe he ain't that bad. I'm gonna give this dude a chance, because you know what, he deserves it. And he seems to be doing never mind, I hate him again. That's Greg Hardy in a nutshell. Every time he comes into my periphery of existence, it's like, Hardy, you know what? I'll give him a chance. Maybe he's not that bad. Oh, nope, there it is. Yep, he's terrible. Greg Hardy. As much as I hate to admit it, I truly do root for Greg Hardy. I like the crossover stars. I like the guys that come over to UFC and try to make it. And there's something to it. I root for CM Punk. I root for Brock. I root for Hardy. I just do. And it's not even on some like, I hope they beat the UFC guy. I just hope they're successful in the next endeavor. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Hardy really didn't have much of a chance. Spivak got him down and got on top of him and made it really ugly. And won by, I mean, I think it was technically a TKO. But there was a moment after the fight where Hardy woke up and almost attacked the doctor. So I'm calling it a KO for Spivak. Because Hardy woke up like, you don't wake up like that from consciousness. All right, next up we had Kevin Holland versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira. I'm not sure how this fight came to be, and I think it was supposed to be Sean Strickland. And I missed Strickland pulling out, if that's the case. I don't know what happened there. I just I had some things going on late last week, and I clearly just missed whatever happened. I think that was supposed to be Sean Strickland, but whatever. Cowboy Oliveira is always game. He's very skilled. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's a bit of a wild man. All things that should play with Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, I believe, moved down in weight class for this one, which makes him bigger than most of the people he's fighting against, which is a really good thing because he's a tall, lanky dude. So now he's just longer and stronger than everyone he's fighting. Kevin Holland, Cowboy got some fucking heart, man. I really feel like Kevin, it was a good fight, right? They were going back and forth. I think they both were staggering each other. I think the first round, Oliveira might have got the best of Holland, but it was close regardless. They were both hitting each other. In round two, man, Kevin Holland did this move, and like, I feel like it's lost on people because the announcers didn't really break it down. So he was very effectively throwing a leg kick. At some point, he was also doing this little jump in attack thing, which Bisping criticized because he was like, he's negating his length and his range and his reach. And he's right, Bisping. But I think he was doing that to set something up. And I think something he was setting up was something like what happened. I don't think he had a set plan per se. I think he had a few different things in his bag he could pull out here, and it just happens to be the one we saw. But he threw the leg kick, but he didn't really throw it. He like feinted throwing it. But while feinting throwing it, he jumped into Oliveira. So Oliveira's focused on his leg, and Kevin's in his space, but like in the air, and he hit him with this little piston punch inside. Like he jumped into him, leg kick, but it's not a real leg kick. Like it's such an encapsulated move inside of the overarching movements of the fight. Like it's such a sneaky move. It's such a Kevin Holland move. Like go back and look at the way he did it. He like threw the leg kick. Oliveira reacted. He jumped into him, and then go watch that shit again. Again, Kevin Holland, the IE dude. I really enjoy Kevin Holland. I like him a lot. Next up, we had Edson Barbosa versus Bryce Mitchell. Crazily enough, Bryce Mitchell was not playing that shit, and he just khabibed Edson Barbosa for 3 rounds. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. Bryce Mitchell, though, the stand-up individual that he is, Arkansas's own UFC Theo Vaughn, it said he's donating half of his purse to some children's charity, which is really dope in essence. Although, what charities actually go to who they say they paying, and which ones are actually just tax islands, tax refuges. Anyways, he's donating money to these kids. I'm not saying he's gonna refuse the taxes. I mean, he's gonna lose his money, and then some organization's gonna get rich off of his money, and those kids will be in the exact same scenario. Not rich. It was only like 40K or something like this, because Dana White though stepped in and said the UFC is gonna make that contribution for him, so Bryce can keep his money, which is really dope. Bryce said he's still got. Oh, excuse me. Still yawning. We're done. We got 2 fights left. Bryce said he's still donating something, but that is dope on Dana White's part. All right. Bryce Mitchell won by decision. He just smothered him, out wrestled him for 3 rounds. Nothing Essen could do. All right. Next up, we had Renato Moicano versus Rafael dos Anjos. This fight was crazy, man. That Moicano dude, he's the one that was screaming, "Moicano wants money!" Rafael dos Anjos just big brothered him. He big brothered him. He just, oh man, this is a 5-round match. I feel like RDA won every round, hands down. I feel like round 3 was a 10-8. In round 5, though, Moicano came back stronger than I expected him to in round 5. Like, I was like, whoa, where this dude come from in round 5 fighting back? There was just head kicks. Oh, man. Rafael dos Anjos beat him up. I felt like in round 5, he felt bad for him. They almost stopped the fight. I felt like he felt bad for him, so Rafael let off the gas, and when he let off the gas, Moicano, instead of being like, "Thanks for giving me some grace, big bro," Moicano was like, "I can win! Moicano wants money!" Back to Cowboy versus Kevin Holland, right? So after Kevin got Cowboy hurt, he went down the ground and pound him out, right? And just when it looked like Cowboy was done, like you seen Cowboy grit his teeth. And just like grabbed him, like, how much you gonna hold on? I got Kevin so long, he's just beating him. And I mean, Cowboy's face, like, Cowboy got some heart, man. That dude wanted to win. All right. Now we got the main event. We got Colby Chaos Covington versus Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Former best friends now turned enemies. They both fought for the championship against Kamaru Usman. They both come up short against Kamaru Usman. This fight was a lot like the Edson Barbosa-Bryce Mitchell fight. The main difference was Colby was willing to engage in a stand-up. And he was doing pretty well, to be honest with you. I felt like Jorge was doing better. Excuse me. I feel like Jorge was doing better in the stand-up. I mean, clearly he was doing better. And Jorge was, he's so crafty. He's stronger than they think I think he's stronger than they think he is. He's faster than they think he is. He's better on the ground than they think he is. And he's better on the feet than they think he is. With that being said, I mean, like Colby and Usman are on a different level on the ground. Even though Usman beat him on the feet. I think that was just perfectly landed punch. You know what I mean? But when on the feet, Jorge looked really good, but he didn't get on the feet very much. Colby kept him either on the ground or fighting off the ground for most of the fight. I feel like the only round you could even give to Masvidal, if you were going to give him one, would be round 4 because he dropped Colby pretty badly. He also dropped him in round 2, I believe, but it didn't matter. I mean, if you're if you're Jorge Masvidal, I don't feel like he really lost anything in this fight. I mean, when it was in his wheelhouse, he was dominant. And when it was in Colby's wheelhouse, Colby was dominant. But I mean, Jorge looked good. I mean, every time they broke after the long wrestling exchanges, when you would expect Jorge to be gassed, Jorge got right up and was ready to go. So, Colby wins again. I guess we get to see him and Usman fight to almost stalemate. That Usman is just marginally better at everything than him at, so he wins. I guess that's the next fight. Colby versus Usman again. Boy, do we love Usman barely beating Colby by doing what Colby does to everyone else, a little bit better than Colby does it because he's just bigger and stronger. To be honest with you, I think they both should change weight classes. I think Masvidal should go down because then he's going to be knocking people out. Maybe. I mean, he's already, I believe I think Masvidal should go down one. Probably Colby should go down too. Maybe they should go down and fight for the belt 155, right? Is the next one down? Yeah, Kobe's calling out Dustin anyway. Go down there and try to get that belt. Leave Usman alone, or he hurts you. Don't misunderstand me. I hate Usman. Not hate, but I do not like Usman. He's in my opinion, he's as bad as Kobe, but at least Kobe is honest about the fact that he's playing a character in Lion. Usman is himself, and he's the same as Kobe. That's just my opinion. He doesn't seem like a genuine dude to me. I've met cats like him, cats who play sports, and he doesn't seem like a good guy to me. But I've never met him before. I don't know, maybe he's the best. Maybe that's why everyone in the sport are such big fans of his and they don't shit talk him at every chance they get. Anyways, I think that's it, man. We've covered it. All the fights. It's been UFC T-Dot Breakdowns. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're still here at this point, man, I fucking love you, bro. Hit the subscribe and the like button. Share with your friends and shit. Bye.